Welcome back to another episode. This is Casey, and we are on episode 6. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so for our quests, so right now we're actually going to take a break from Divine Increase, and we are going to find Asher. So right now we're still in the inn, so where we left off in the last episode, so let's go back into Balmora and make our way to find Asher. Alright, so first off, I want to see on the where it says to go. So it says right to go there. Okay. But first I want to see what this is over here. Alright, so this quest marker pointing here is probably gonna start.
Please, if you just listen.
Okay.
Take care of yourself, Father.
I'm in need of a strong set of legs, traveler. And you look like one capable of protecting yourself. Will you aid an old mer in one last task?
How can I help you?
I have an obligation to my family. No, a duty of utmost importance. But I have grown too feeble to fulfill it. If you would take this memory stone to the few places of significance in my life, I will pay you well.
What's a memory stone?
It allows one to archive memories for future generations. I hope to do this for my children, who have grown estranged. Invoke my stone at the locations I've marked on your map, and the memories I wish to archive will manifest.
Alright, I'll use your memory stone as requested.
I thank you for your aid. Fewer than ever are willing to aid their elders in these troubled times. Now I suppose the distance with my children is my fault, not theirs.
Tell me more about this memory stone.
It is a rare gem. Once, long ago, Redguard warriors carried them into battle. One of the most famous was a sword singer in the First Age, Makeleleki. No historians will cherish my thoughts, certainly, but perhaps my children will come to.
How did you acquire a memory stone?
I purchased it from my master, Drenham, a Telvanni mage of middling repute. I have served him for how long? Many, many years. For as long as I can remember. I will serve him until I die, no doubt. But that will not be long now.
Was that one of your children you were arguing with before we spoke?
Ah, yes. Mills. My son has never really forgiven me for never being here for them. He's a stranger in my own home. No. If anything, it's the other way around. Even Naria has grown accustomed to my absence.
You feel Naria resents you?
Naria less than Mills. But both my children grew up largely on their own. My duties to Master Drenham consumed a great deal of my time. Mills especially grew up with Naria and no one else. He despises me, and I don't blame him.
Why didn't you spend more time with your children?
You'll know soon enough. As will they, I hope. I failed them as a father, but they are safe, aren't they? I kept them safe.
What will happen when I use this memory stone?
I cannot travel with you, but I have attuned this stone to my soul. When you use it at the locations I've marked, it will summon echoes of things that once occurred there. The stone absorbs these echoes, allowing others to view them.
Alright, goodbye. Now I'm going to continue on to find Asher.
You killed one of my gang, Swift. No writ will protect you from us.
Healer! So I can cure a writ.
was not expecting to find death on him, and I I died. Okay. Your equipped items have lost durability. That's okay. Revive heat.
Feeling
That's
left
it.
out?
Kill the Morag Tong and any witnesses.
I'll just take...
I need healing.
Maple Shoulder Magicka, Maple Inferno Staff, and Iron Sabatons. Okay, this is where I need to go.
I had that situation under control. Just needed them to make the first hostile move. Still, I cleaned enough blood off my axes for one day, so thanks for lending a hand.
I was told to meet you out here.
You were you? Was it Melissa? I told her I'd close out my tab after I completed another contract. That woman has the patience of an anxious Nyx. Well, tell her I'm good for it. I'll stop by and we can conclude our business cordially.
No, I'm here about Veya.
Veya? The new apprentice? Now why in oblivion do you care about Veya?
I'm trying to find her.
Are you now? And why do you want to do that? Never mind, I don't really care. I was asked to pass along some notes, but I'm not really the messenger type. I suggest you talk to Veya's mentor. Last I heard, she had a job in the Western Ruins.
I'll look for Veya's mentor in the ruins to the west.
Make sure you don't anger Veya's mentor, or even look at her the wrong way. She's grown surprisingly protective of that young woman, and if she thinks you pose a danger... Besides, I'd hate to see you wind up on the wrong end of one of our writs.
Why were those townsfolk trying to kill you?
You know, the usual buyer's remorse. I see a lot of that in my line of work. Turns out, I had to kill a bad man who did bad things. The writ was legal and above board. Unfortunately, his brother didn't see it that way and was looking for revenge.
You're some kind of assassin?
Oh, you make it sound so obscene. Still, that's pretty much an accurate description. But it's not like I work for the Dark Brotherhood or anything. I don't kill anyone without a sanctioned writ. Keeps the great houses in line. It's a calling.
Tell me more about Veya's mentor.
I'd rather not. She's particular about her secrets, and I don't want to get on a bad side. You should keep that in mind too if you plan to continue on this course. Veya's mentor usually sticks to the rules, but I wouldn't turn my back on her.
Alright, goodbye. Find Veya's mentor in the ruins, in the Western Ruins. Map. Looks like, yeah, the Western Ruins is just over there. I might actually save that for next episode when I'm coming back down this way to head over here. So what I'll do is I'll go up here to investigate Ald'ruhn, and then I'll make my way down here and find Veya's mentor in the Western Ruins. Right? Yeah, that sounds like a plan. Alright. So investigate Ald'ruhn. So that is where I need to go. Actually, I'm going to gather a few things in my inventories. Let's see what I need to put on. So these ones are better. Put that on. This one's actually slightly better, so I'm gonna weapons. Yeah. Okay. Alright, now let's continue on and make our way toward Ald'ruhn. Alright, it looks like I'm nearing Ald'ruhn. Talk to Sven.
I demand to see my brother. Lay hands upon me, and you will lose them.
Damn. Talk to Sarah.
You there! The territory of the Red Exiles shouldn't be traveled lightly. Ashlanders once respected each other, helped one another. You'd think these were house wolves or tribunal dogs, the way they treated me. Speaking of the tribunal, you have the smell of dog about you. I wonder why that is.
I'm looking into something for Lord Vivek.
Lord Vivek, is it? And I thought all the tribunal cared about was building monuments to their own greatness. Nice to see that one of them cares about what's going on beyond their borders. Well, perhaps we can aid each other this day, Outlander.
What kind of help do you need?
Ashlanders are nomads, but we gather at sacred sites to trade, confer, and pay homage to the past. Ald'ruhn is such a place. That's why Chodala invited the Red Exiles here. But these outcasts won't let me into their camp. I need to find my brother.
Who's your brother?
My brother, Chodala, is the Ashkan of our tribe, and I am his ambassador. I act as a go-between among the tribes. Chodala wants to unite the Dunmer and calmly end the era of the bickering houses. He hopes to convince the tribes to follow his lead.
And what do you need me to do?
Head into the Red Exiles camp and find my brother. Otherwise, see if you can find out what he was doing in there and where he's gone. Be wary of the outcasts. As you saw, they won't hesitate to attack without reason or provocation.
Your brother rules over the Ashlander tribes?
No, just our tribe, the Urshilaku, though he's respected by most of the other Ashlanders for his wisdom and strength of will. He does hope to unite the tribes in a common cause, however. That's one of the reasons we've gathered here at Ald'ruhn.
Tell me about Chodala.
My brother and I have our people, and improve the Ashlander way of life. He used to believe that peaceful negotiation was the best path to accomplish this. Recently, however, things have become different. He's almost like...
Like what?
No, that's not something I'm ready to talk about with an outsider. Perhaps after you prove your trustworthiness and willingness to help us, then we can discuss my brother in more detail. Perhaps.
You said Chodala wants to unite the tribes. Are you planning to go to war?
That's not our goal, but the tribes will defend themselves if necessary. No, we hope to present a united front and show the houses the folly of the path they've embarked upon. Turning away from our forefathers and god ancestors has made them weak.
Tell me more about the Red Exiles.
The Red Exiles? They're violent, dangerous Ashlanders who were banished from their tribes and joined together to create their own clan. Chodala invited them to the gathering and went into the camp to talk, but he's been gone too long. I'm worried.
You think I'll have to fight my way through the camp?
As you saw, hostility is second nature to the Red Exiles. We're here to negotiate. They're no better than thieves and murderers. If they spot you in their camp, you'll need to defend yourself. It's unfortunate, but they'll leave you no choice.
Alright, goodbye. We are going to... Oh, there's a way shrine up there, so I'm actually going to get that. In case I need it for later on. Right. Find Syria's brother. So that looks like the camp up there, so I'm actually going to see if I can get up this little hill here. assuming that's going to be something in one of these tents. Take a few of the things that they have here. This is bees here. Yep. Meeting with Chodola. Notes on the meeting with Chodola. Nera Vereen and wielder of Sunara. Compiled by scribe Dakin. Kundad greeted Ashkan. Chodola as Gula Khan. Yuzashtan and Nibadpur, the fire breather, looked on. Chodola displayed no fear and showed Kundad a level of respect rarely given to tribal outcasts. He had lent him the use of a small warband of red exiles, but now he was here to negotiate a more prominent arrangement. Chodola began the meeting by explaining his plans for tribal unification, stressing that there was a place for the red exiles in his unified vision. Kunud demanded to know why the red exiles should even consider returning to the tribe that had banished them. Chodola appeared thoughtful before he replied, "Because you are Ashlanders and our blood calls to one another." Then Chodola demonstrated the power of the staff our warband helped him to acquire. They helped him acquire. He called the staff Sunara. Sunara grants me the strength of a god, Chodola said, striking a stone with the tip of his staff so that the stone cracked like the shell of an egg. Kundad ordered his champion, Golakan Yuzashten, to put the blasphemous Ashkan in his place. But no matter how many times her sword lashed out, it never once touched or pierced Chodola's flesh. "What kind of creature are you?" Kundad demanded. "I am the Neravarine," Chodola proclaimed, and Kundad Galakan Yuzashten and Nibapur prostrated themselves before him. "The red exile shall be my enforcers, and Yuzashten shall be my champion," Chodola declared. "Prepare yourselves for my return. I have much work for you to do." "Where are you going, Neravarine?" Kundad asked. "I need time to meditate upon our next course of action," Chodola said. "Then I have a meeting with the wise woman, Dovrossi, ratifying my claim as the Neravarine." Chodola departed, and Galakan Yuzashten went with him, thus ending the meeting. Use... Actually, let's look at all the weapons. Alright. Let's remove that. That one's better. That's two-handed. This is one-handed. And it's the same as the dagger. Alright, I don't need this anymore. I can destroy it. Yes. Iron dagger, I don't need that anymore. Destroy, yes. Iron greatsword. I don't exactly need this in my inventory, and I can't make a profit out of it, so destroy. Yes. Same with this one. Destroy, yes. And this one as well. Yeah. Destroy, and yes. Now let's look at all these. So, rawhide boots, can't make a profit. And they're worse than what I have. I can't make a profit of these either. And then this as well.
You seem to have survived your visit to the Red Exiles camp. Did you find my brother?
No, but I found this record of his meeting with the Red Exiles leader.
Interesting. I never suspected that the outcasts were disciplined enough to keep records such as this. Oh no. I can't believe my brother would be so... brazen.
He called himself the Nerevarine. Do you know what this means?
It means that Chodala really has changed. With his newfound powers and rising ambitions, I fear what he plans for the tribes. I suppose you have a right to know what I'm talking about. Take this. I found it among my brother's possessions.
Another scroll? Did Chodala write this?
Chodala discovered new power out in the wilderness, and it changed his view of the world. He writes about it in that document. Now he believes he's the Nerevarine, and incites the tribes, while I try to keep them all from doing anything rash.
What's a Nerevarine?
You don't know? I thought... No, you're not an Ashlander, and the House Elves rarely talk about such things. Long ago, there was a hero named Nerevar. He fought alongside the Tribunal, before they claimed to be gods, until they betrayed him.
The Tribunal betrayed Nerevar?
So our legends say. Nerevar united the Kaima, and forged an alliance with the Dwemer. He died at the Battle of Red Mountain. We believe the Tribunal hastened his demise, despite Vivek's claims to the contrary.
But where does the Nerevarine fit into all this?
The Nerevarine is a promise and a prophecy. We believe that, through the power of Azura, Nerevar will return to unite all Dunmer, House and Ashlander alike, and make Morrowind great again. The returned Nerevar will be known as the Nerevarine.
You don't believe Chodala's claim?
While the prophecy of the Nerevarine can be interpreted as the end of the Tribunal, I have always seen it as a prediction of hope and peace. Chodala and some Ashlanders, such as the Red Exiles, favor war. That's not the Nerevarine I believe in.
You think Chodala wants a war?
He uses in Ashkon's words to plant dark ideas in his followers. Ideas that speak of false gods, lost traditions, and the need for a cleansing war. His words become more forceful every day, but I hope to dissuade him from this violent course.
Tell me more about Chodala's new power.
All I know, new power frightens me. Chodala returned from a sojourn in the wilderness more vibrant, more commanding. He's always been strong, but now he's fearless, practically invincible, and swifter than the fastest Ashlander scout.
What do you think is the source of Chodala's new power?
Chodala says his new abilities strengthen his claim as the Nerevarine. I think it's the staff he carries. He had it when he returned, and now it's always at his side. I know it's unreasonable, but I hate that staff. He calls it Sunara.
Alright, goodbye. Alright, this is the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.